joins and you don't know them, definitely introduce yourself in the channel. We might have some people outside of the academy join as well. That's always the hope, is to have some people from the academy join up from the outside as well. So yeah, if you guys want, you're more than welcome to introduce yourselves in the chat. I always tell people to do that. And I'm just gonna give it like 5 minutes before we start, so that way we can see if more people join. Hey, Newton.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Do you get a haircut? I can't tell because you're teeny tiny on my screen.
Yeah, I did. I cut the beard down.
You did? Oh my God. I'm like, I noticed.
What's up,
I'm like, he looks different.
What's up, Jonathan? Good to see you.
Yeah, man, definitely good.
We're just gonna give like another 5 minute time so that people can join if they want to. Like I was telling the students, they should introduce themselves in the chat. You're more than welcome to as well, Newton. And thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna mute my video for like 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Not my video, but my screen share.
They will be online.
Yay, everyone's here. Who else do we have here? And I know some of you guys went to the academy, right? You guys are with Paolo right now?
Just me, only me.
Oh, okay. Okay, no, that's fine. Oh, and I love that you're dressed up. That's awesome. I always encourage that a lot. And I always tell people to try and dress up. Even if it is virtual, like it's still really good to try and present yourself professionally. I always just wear the shirt because like that's the whole thing with 4Geeks is to have the shirt on. So yeah, I always love it when people try and dress up for their presentations. That's dope. Not saying you guys don't look great. All of you guys look great. I was
gonna say some low-key shade.
No. Not saying that everyone looks great. I was just pointing out John Lewis's little outfit. No.
We all look good, but he looks great.
Yeah, he does. He does look good. He looks
I'm not gonna lie, kind of jealous right now.
All right. I'm actually gonna go ahead and start, okay, guys? So let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right. Awesome. Well, welcome everyone to the second to last year's Geek Talk. Can you believe it? I can't even believe that it's the end of the year. I can't even believe that it's almost Halloween. That's really, really crazy to me. But welcome everyone. For those of you joining that don't know me, my name is Bridget Schrader and I am the head of partnerships and career support here at 4Geeks Academy. We have a wonderful group of students joining us tonight. They're all awesome. They all look great. And they're all ready to present some very interesting projects. Really awesome to see just like the creativity and ingenuity of every single person that graduates from here. So I always give props to you guys for that. Yeah, and we only have a couple of projects this evening, so nothing too crazy, but still something really cool to look at. And as always, we're really, really proud of our graduates. They work really hard. in that time frame, which to me I think is really amazing. So always give you guys always give yourself a pat on the back because of that really great work. But yeah, this is 4Geeks. We're a full stack coding academy. Some things that you guys may not know about us or even the workforce out there for software developers. That's what we do. We're a coding bootcamp. We specialize in full stack development. We launched our first program in 2016 with the Miami-Dade College. We're licensed by the Florida Department of Education. We have 7 campuses and 10 ongoing programs, and we're actually launching new programs as of next year. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Why do we teach coding, or why is coding so important in the field right now? I definitely think coronavirus has impacted that way more. We have so many more people looking for new ways to improve their career and even find a new career path. Coronavirus has really shown us that the IT and tech field are really one of the things that you can turn to, and nothing will really ever go wrong. There's always going to be a job out there for you. Since technology is always changing, and especially now, since so many of us are adapting to work from home, companies are, spending millions of dollars in development. So it's always something to look at. The average salary is really good. It can be anywhere from 45 to 55K a year right after graduating from the boot camp. There's over 50K open positions, but I actually think that number's risen to a lot more since coronavirus started, especially because a lot of companies have invested a lot of their time and efforts into development. There's over 800K open positions in the US. Again, that number has grown a little bit more. The Bureau of Labor Statistics hasn't necessarily put out the data on that, but I definitely will be looking at it as soon as they update it. I know it had fluctuated throughout the coronavirus, and I think it's grown even more since the beginning of the pandemic. And 8 out of 25 of the most demanded skills are related to coding. And coding is dope because you can not only just be a developer and develop front end or develop back end, but you can also go into any kind of pipeline that you might enjoy, such as blockchain or AI or even data science. There's a lot of things that you can go into with coding, so it's pretty cool. So a couple more facts about us. We have over 1,000 graduates. We have an 89% placement ratio, and we've also noticed that most people increase their wages and their salaries by 22% since leaving 4Geeks. So that's a little something about us. These are our partners. We have a lot of them. We work not only with companies, but we also work with the city of Miami. You guys can see we work with the Miami Beacon Council, with the Miami Downtown Development Authority. We worked with Newton's company, with Career Score in Quatanda as well. We also work with Benjamin Douglas, Women Who Code. Those are just a couple of the examples and the couple of partners that we've worked with in the past in both partnerships, events, as well as employee placement in the field. But that just gives you guys an overall idea as to the kind of people we work with and the kind of projects that we try to involve ourselves in. So tonight's guest speaker is Newton Porter. He's a really great guy. He actually has been working alongside with 4Geeks Academy for quite some time now. He is the Chief Product Officer at Quatanda. Quatanda actually owns Career Score, which is the company that you guys have been using to track some of your career updates, as well as looking for interviews, applications, all of that stuff that's been done through your Career Score page. So we're gonna have a Q&A with Newton at the beginning here before moving on to your guys's super awesome presentations. And also my thumb looks weird because my hand, I broke it and it's still in the process of getting better. So that's what it's gonna look like for now, but it's getting better, guys. So anyways, we'll move on. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna switch screens here and then I'm gonna go ahead and start with you, Newton.
Great.
Actually, I'm gonna stop sharing because I love to see your face while I speak to you. It's kind of like super tiny in the corner whenever I have the screen share on, so it's a lot easier this way. And I'm sorry, Newton, if you don't mind just introducing yourself, and if you want to touch base a little bit about Quatanda, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, everyone. I'm Newt Porter. As Bridget mentioned, I'm the Chief Product Officer at Quatanda. Quatanda is a international company that has two products. One is a lending as a service product. So we have essentially the technology that powers student financing for programs like 4Geeks. We also work with universities and governments. The second piece of software is kind of my baby. It's CareerScore. Some of you may have been using it to track your jobs. I started that company right out of college, grew it for a number of years, and last year I sold it to Quitanda, and I joined forces with them to internationalize the software and take it off the ground. Along that journey, one of our early customers as we started working with schools was 4Geeks Academy. Worked closely with Marcelo, Alejandro and team, and actually did some of what Bridget was doing way back in the day. So it's nice to be here and chat with you all.
I actually didn't know that. That's funny. But we'll totally touch base on that at some point. Okay, so my first question for you, and this is for those of us who don't know, can you explain what exactly a chief product officer does inside of Quitanda?
Sure. So you could think of a chief product officer as a product manager. So I drive the vision, the strategy, and the execution of our products. So vision, where are we going? What do we want to accomplish? What are we trying to solve in the world, right? For CareerScore, that's helping connect students with opportunities. We want to do that at scale. What's the strategy? So are there any competitors in the marketplace? What are the kind of building blocks in the technology and the sequence of them to actually make that happen? And then the execution, digging in with design and engineering and planning our sprints, figuring out what we're going to build very tactically. So in short, my job is to make sure we build the right product at the right time for the right customer.
Awesome. So I always ask people, especially if they're like on here guest speaking, because some people, you get different ideas of what every role is out there. So it's always really great to hear exactly what it is to do. But jumping off of that, what made you come up with the idea to help companies or students find their placement in the field? Was it a personal experience you had yourself, or was it something you saw and felt like it needed to be fixed?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. My final year at university, I was fortunate enough to get a job offer very early in the process. And because of that, a lot of my friends came to me and thought that I had it figured out. They went on campus and weren't getting the support they needed from career advisors. And I just worked with them one-on-one, helped them with their resumes, coached them, helped them identify opportunities. And I really enjoyed the process. After school, I was just kind of doing it on weekends as a side hustle. And after doing a little less than a year after school, I applied to a tech accelerator in Miami, Venture Hive, got in, and started building technology around what had been really a one-to-one process. So it started from personal experience. I just happened to be helping some friends find jobs and found I really enjoyed it and wanted to help more people.
That's awesome. Did you face a lot of challenges when looking for resources or companies to work with when you first started?
Yeah, I mean, I think starting is easy, surviving is hard. So
Okay.
definitely ups and downs, and I think I've gone through the gamut on finding customers, learning how to fundraise and raise capital from investors, hiring. You have to realize that when I was first getting going on this, I was, I don't know, 22, 23, fairly fresh out of school. So I had to learn a lot of this stuff on my own. So I did the design, I did marketing, I did sales, and then I hired people to do them afterward because I didn't know what I was hiring for. So definitely a ton of challenges across the way, and been quite a ride.
That's really awesome. I always really like to hear, especially young entrepreneurship, because there's so many more people out there doing it. And especially if you can be an entrepreneur in the tech field, which I think is super tough, and you can make it, it really shows other people that there is an opportunity for you to build something and make it super awesome. Speaking of, like, I know that you have a science degree, if I'm not mistaken. Did that get you involved in the tech field directly, or were you already kind of involved with it because of your degree, or was there something else that drawed you to it?
Yeah, so I had always just been into tech. So I remember, I guess it was my sophomore year, first kind of Android phones were coming out, HTC, and iPhone jailbreaking wasn't really a thing. I had kind of gone in, I had rooted my iPhone before I switched over to Android. I was kind of just always tinkering in tech. Um, and I got a job with a startup, was able to work remote from school. And I didn't study it, but I was always studying it on my own, right? So I did kind of freelance graphic design. I have dabbled in code, but I've never been I wouldn't say an engineer, but I've always worked closely with engineers. So I learned econ and finance in school because I always knew that I wanted to have a good understanding of the business side, and I could apply that to whatever I jumped into, be it tech or anything else.
I always feel like that's usually kind of where you come around full circle and you realize, like, this is like really what I want to jump into, is when you were like in school, or maybe even like going through hobbies and stuff, you kind of figure out, like, okay, this is really what I want to do. Like, I want to jump into the tech field, or so it's always really good to hear like that side, or that point of view as well. So I know that you talked in your job about product and about design and engineering. Which one do you prefer working with most? Do you like the design part, or do you like the actual engineering part of your job more?
I think being product kind of sits in the middle of design, engineering, and the business, right? So like I have to work with everyone, and I genuinely I like all aspects of it, right? I would say I am better at the design than the engineering, but that's just because I've had to jump in and do it, right?
Okay.
I think yeah, I probably shade more towards design, but that's just because that's what I do. And I think I have more appreciation for the complexity of engineering because I know how hairy it can get. And having been through a ton of product builds, different products, product iterations, launch products that didn't work, launched ones that did, some that had viral growth and then cleared out. I know how complex it is, and I have deep appreciation for the kind of design engineering process. But I'm personally better at design.
Okay.
I can't hang with guys like Jonathan in code.
they're I mean, I can't either. I watch him and I watch his students, and I'm just like, oh my, like, it's so interesting. It's so cool. And to see like the virility that a lot of people have in terms of that is like really crazy. And how much you can really work with it, the things that you can create with engineering. And so anytime I see Jonathan or even Alejandro coding, it's very like I'm sitting there like it's literally a whole other language. Like, I know it's called coding languages, right? But it really is like just sitting there and learning the types of lines and everything. So it is.
Yeah, and I think, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not at all. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and I don't think it's one versus the other. The two need to work in tandem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of my job is, I got to make sure that it works for the user. Hopefully, it looks good and makes them feel happy. Functionally, it can be built, and the engineering is sound, but also make sure we're building stuff that are solving actual problems for our customers, right? So it's not a one or the other. I think being an engineer, it's incredibly helpful to understand some business and design, and it's going to make you infinitely better at what you do.
I definitely agree. Because you don't, like you just said, I agree with what you just said, especially. You can't really have one without the other. They both need to work in tandem to have something successful come out for sure.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly. I was like, teamwork makes the dream work, like always. And I wanted to ask, because you were such an entrepreneur and you were able to build your own company, what is some advice you could give to people going into the tech field as entrepreneurs? What would you recommend to them to do?
So I would say if you want to go into entrepreneurship and start your own company, um, there's a ton of different types of companies you can build. If you're trying to build a product, like a software as a service product, in general, I think it's best to solve a problem that you have felt personally. Start small. You don't have to think about, scaling to, tens of thousands or millions of customers. Like, think about problems that bother you every day, or things that you've seen firsthand, because you're going to have such a better understanding. And hopefully, if it's something that you have felt or you have seen from your friends or from your community, then finding your first customers is going to be that much easier, right? And that's a huge, mistake that young entrepreneurs make. And I've been guilty of this, kind of veering off the path in the past, is, talking with your customers and making sure you're solving real problems is huge. It's so easy to get caught up and excited about just building and deep into engineering or design and lose sight of that, right? You want to solve real problems, and start small. It can be for yourself or for a handful of people.
I love that advice a lot, because a lot of the students that come out of here or have like developed their own projects, they are definitely things that you can see from like the real world. And there's actually one tonight, I'm not going to say which one, that really revolves around what's going on in the world today. And I think that's really, really awesome. If people can adapt what they have ongoing, if they can make something that is happening now, that's even better, and it can really like help them in the future. I just have a couple more questions. One of the other things I wanted to ask you as well is, what other advice could you also give in terms of bettering someone's coding, or where do you think they can also really educate themselves above and beyond from coding? What other tools or what other things have you seen in the field that could really help students benefit and educate themselves more, especially in the tech field?
Yeah. So I mean, I think there's a few parts of that question. In terms of coding, and especially as you're moving towards graduation and beyond, keep at it. Don't stop once you graduate. As you're searching for jobs, you got to keep practicing, really pushing the envelope on your own, so you keep, your act sharp, so to speak, but you're continuing to grow. If you have to pick up new languages as you're, you get a job with a company, like, get good at reading documentation, going through that, and being able to get up to speed quickly. I know it can be kind of scary, like jumping into API docs and all of that, but you'll get more fluent much quicker if you rehearse that. In terms of like other skills around engineering, I think it's very helpful to have basic understandings of design and UI, and not just so like from a pure front end perspective, and kind of that side of development, but also so you can better interface with your, right? If you understand kind of what they're doing in their process, the design engineering handoff is like known that there can be like miscommunication, and you get, a design file and you run with it, and there's stuff that was missed and there wasn't kind of a dialogue had. But if you understand what you're trying to accomplish together and what that feature you're building, or update is supposed to accomplish, you can work through those things, and ultimately deliver a better quality product to your customers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm biased because I like.
No. I love, and I love that you're into design, because believe it or not, I feel like more people should also not like ignore it, and also just take it into account whenever it comes into coding, because it goes such a long way. But there are certain coders who really just feel more comfortable with the back end. They're not really interested, with the design part. which there's nothing wrong with that. But I have always been a huge, like, you should have it all. If you can actually do the design part as well, you might as well try and get into it. I actually have one more question before we move on. How important is launching what you have quickly versus launching when you think is ready according to your standards, when it comes to any product you might be involved in?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the product and how many customers you have, right?
Okay.
But I would say early on, ship early and often, right? If we're talking about like launching an MVP, a lot of engineering teams are moving towards continuous integration and making smaller incremental changes. I think generally it's better to ship quick, and it's easy to catch yourself in kind of the imposter syndrome trap and be like, you know what, this isn't ready. It ship it. Now that said, from a business perspective, as you start to have, customers and there's expectations about quality control, you need to go through testing. So you might ship it to a staging or development environment and kind of run through testing and work through kinks, but you're still kind of shipping in a sense. But you have that kind of extra filter before it goes to the end customer. But generally, yeah, you got to get it out there. I fall into this trap, and I've collaborated with Jonathan on a project and seen that kind of back and forth. Where all kind of get caught up in designs and be iterating, and then at some point it's like, crap, we got to get this thing out the door. Same thing happens in code, right? So you got to ship something, right? And you learn the more you build products and you're in this kind of tech world that momentum is key.
I think I definitely have had experience, especially with the project that we were all involved in. I definitely saw that rush with the Miami TechWorks project, for example. So yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Like having to have it like ready and on that day, didn't matter what. 100% I've seen it in action. So yeah, that actually really helps answer my question about that too. Okay, and the last question I have for you, I ask everyone this because I think it's important for people to know. What is your favorite thing about what you do, and what is your favorite thing about working in tech as well?
Yeah, I think for me and kind of like being in a product role, I love the different parts of the business. Like I love the design and understanding like the customer problem intimately, the business model, and like making sure it works, like the economics of the company. And the engineering process is fascinating to me. So like I love my role, and it kind of like mirrors what I did as like an entrepreneur and like a CEO before the company was bought, where I get to kind of see everything that's happening and kind of coordinate everyone. So I love kind of the organism, so to speak, that is like the company and the product, and being able to kind of flex into different roles as needed, right? So I have more resources now, but when I was running the company on my own, I got to kind of like, I'd flex into sales or I'd flex into design, and then I'd hire someone. So I kind of got to do pretty much everything but code. And I really love that kind of aspect of my specific role. In terms of like broadly and tech, I think we are in such an exciting time, and there's never been an easier time to build, to create. Software is beautiful, and it's like magic. Honestly, you can talk with a handful of people, see a problem, and create something in a matter of days and weeks. Simple to get off the ground and iterate from there. So hats off to you all who just graduated. I'm excited to see, the little bit of magic that you have built and created in your projects.
They have really great ones too. I think you're really gonna like them. Speaking of like fun little things, I'm on Twitter all the time, and I always see coders like doing little random silly projects. I think one of the funniest ones I saw yesterday was this guy put an API on all of like the McDonald's ice cream machines, so he could
saw that.
So he could see when they all break, and I was like, "That's amazing!" Like every McDonald's,
Awesome.
they should actually use this. Yeah. Thank you so much, Newton. We're actually going to go and move on to the project section of our presentation tonight, but I really want to thank you again for being such an awesome guest speaker. I suggest you stick around for the projects. I know you will. They're going to be great. And then if anyone has any questions for Newton, as well as everyone presenting, we'll leave them all for the end, okay? So just give me 1 second. I will go ahead and share my screen. So tonight's presentations, which again, I know I've said this, but they're really cool. We have Super Gig, Jam Free, and Puzzle Swap. And our first project is Super Gig by Jean-Louis, and he will be going right on right now. I'm gonna go ahead and exit and let you take over.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us today. I will be showing case my final project. It's called Super Gig. My name is Fritz Jean-Louis, remix for my friends. I study computer system at Lindsay Hopkins Technical College. And then I really like coding. And I recognize the power of web development and changing the world. And I see myself as a web developer. I can be part of the changing world. For this project, I use multiple language and framework. Like for the front end, I use HTML, CSS, JS, Bootstrap, React, and for the back end, I use Python, Flash, and MySQL. Super Gig is a project from the community for the community. The idea for the project comes when I see like at the pandemic, a lot of people lost their job and they are seeking for short-term job, and a lot of people who have the short-term job need people to work for them. And I see that I can build an app that can connect the job seeker with the job poster. And after the graduation, I will be working on the project to add more functionality, so the web is more useful. Let's go to the website. Okay, this is the landing page for the website. From here, the user can already have an idea of what kind of service that we offer on the website. So when they go to jobs, they can already see what kind of job we have and where they are. But when they want to see the job descriptions, they will click on the job. The website will ask them to log in. And when they log in, they will be able now to see all the description for the job and where they are, the phone number, and everything they need to contact the job poster. And when they click on the job, they will be able to see exactly where the job is. We do that with Google API. Okay. If you are a job poster, you will go over here and you will be able to post your job. From here, you will put the title of the job, all the description, and how much money you willing to pay for that, and your address and everything. And then the job seeker will be able to see everything when they are looking for a job. If you're a job seeker, when you go over here, you already log in, you can see all the jobs, you can see where they are and how much money they will give for the job. I want to say thank you for everybody who worked very hard to make this day possible. I want to say thank you to the mentors and the teachers who always be there for us whenever we need something, whenever we need help. They always be there to do that. And I would like to say thanks to Eddie, Jonathan, Paulo, Alejandro, Bridget, and everybody who make that day possible. And the program was very helpful because it wasn't easy for me to find a program who match my schedule. And when I was looking on the internet and I find Geek Academics have a program that match my schedule, I feel like I was very lucky. And one more time, I'd like to say thank you for everybody who makes that day possible. That was all for today. Thank you.
Great job. You did awesome. I
Phenomenal work, man. Great job.
Yeah, for real, really awesome. I can't even clap very well, so you're hearing a very silent clap. But great job. You did awesome. We have Jamfree next with Alexon and Johan. And Jamfree is also a cool one. They're all cool. I love all of them. I love all the projects. I think I say that every time, but I do. They're just so creative. And I've never seen one that is the same. Like, I've never seen one that is like the same or copies the other. So yeah, it's
awesome. Hello, how are you guys? Hello.
Good, we're good. We're awesome.
Great, man.
Can you see the screen with the slide?
Perfect.
No.
We
not
see the other
the
one.
slides. We just see the other screen.
For the other one, okay. Let me see here. Okay. One second, please. Now the same screen.
Yes.
Okay. What's happening? But let me switch to this one. Okay. So now it's okay, right? With the slides.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good evening. My name is Alexon Coelho. We are gonna be presenting our project. Me and Johan Rive. It's called Jamfree, and it's an online music academy. I want to start saying thank you to all the music, the 4Geeks staff. They have been very supportive. I still can remember the first time I called to the 4Geeks Academy. I think I spoke with Alejandro for about 1 hour, and then I decided to join the program. So I'm very happy that I did that. All the mentors, teachers, Bridget, everyone so great, very supportive. And well, I'm gonna start with the presentation. So here, well, a little bit about me. I've been working in the business sector for years. I always loved computers since very little, since I was a kid. And well, I decided to make this career change. Also, I'm a musician as well. So now I'm gonna give it the word to Johan Uribe.
Everybody, I'm Johan. Um, Thankful for mentors and happy to project. Um, Project focus mainly trying to give money to pay for and I've been in the field technician, but in hardware. I'm working as a I work in a real front end projects and but Alex on passion about music.
Hey, Johan, some people are having a little trouble hearing you.
Okay.
It might be something on your end. I'm not 100% sure.
Let me try.
Oh, perfect. There we go. Yeah, it's a lot better. Nice.
Much better.
All right. Let me go here. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if you guys. I've been working in the aviation field, and I have made some pretty basic. And I'm also very passionate about music, and it's very cool that we got together with Alex in this project because we both share passion about music. Um, Here are the technology. We got also a couple of API, external APIs. I don't know if Alex wants to continue with the mission.
Sure. Let me share screen here quickly. Oh, can you see it now? The screen? Sorry. Hello.
Yeah, it's coming through good, man.
Oh, okay.
We can see it. It's just that we are all mute, so it takes a while to unmute and answer.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay. Yes. So I'm going to give you a demo, some of the features of the app, and then Johan will give you a demo for other features. So basically, when you came to the homepage, you have this information here. But in order to to dive into the functions of the app, you have to log in. So I already have a user login here, which is a student. Basically, as a student, you have this profile here. You can edit your profile if you want, add a picture, and then you have this music room, which is the main thing of the app, which basically you can search for lessons, right? So if you go here and you are a drummer, you can see this lesson for drummers. You can have the image of the particular lesson, or you can go and also watch a video. It sends you to a YouTube video. For now, this is the functionality to search for videos. And also, if you like any lesson and you want to continue working later on, you can add that particular lesson to favorites. And there's a message here that give you instructions where you can find it. So basically, you go to your profile here and you will find your lesson. You can, after you're finished, you can move from there. Also, another feature of a student is that you can schedule sessions with the teachers. So for this one, we use the Set More API. So I'm gonna set a session for, let's say, tomorrow, Saturday, speak an hour, and then you just check, and seems like it's not possible. Let me try one more time.
Open the inspectors about maybe it's a
Pressure.
simple thing.
Maybe this
Maybe you're
one.
missing the virtual environment or something.
It's probably the token not resetting properly.
Check, and this one was successfully created. And it might take some time to update here, but the idea is that you can see then your your lessons, your appointments here. So let me see if already fetching. Yeah, it's here for tomorrow, Saturday. You can check the status of the appointment. You can see that it's pending. So you as a student can also follow up your sessions here. And then of course you can clean a little bit. And yeah, let me give the word to Johan, who's gonna show you the features for a teacher.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Oh, hi.
Okay.
Little baby.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna log in as which has different features. So basically, what a teacher can do is, okay, has this file if they want to. And the music room, the teacher has the ability to edit. Okay, let's start with creating a file. So we can do the title. We select the instrument, the language. We upload a kind of. Okay. And we can set up an URL publish. It gets published. Here is the success. So we go back at the end. So basically, what the teacher is able to is to create files, edit files, or change any of these features. We can also delete the files. Yeah, that's basically what a teacher can do. In the future, what we want to room as well, and another feature that we could improve would be to, instead of having a link for videos, we could just upload them to the store and be able to access it. Okay, and that'll be what the teacher is able to. Here are the future additions that I just talked about. Uh, we believe that has a good potential with the time as we to give the opportunity to people who can access to this type of education for free, and platform to give the option for the teachers to give their time, donate their time, and and become like a meeting for these students that of education. I don't know if Alex has something else to add.
Well, that's basically as Johan said. We think that would be a good idea to keep working on this project and add these features that are listed here. We think that will improve the user experience. So hope you like. I mean, this was made with too much love. I mean, we both enjoy coding and the music. So this kind of is a mixture of what we love. So, well, thank you. Thank you again for all the 4Geek team.
Fantastic job,
Great
guys.
job, guys. And the next, but definitely not least, I'll give you 1 second. Puzzle swap.
Awesome. Thanks, Bridget.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't, I was like catching up. I was like, puzzle swap with Allison, Camila, and Carmina, which are all beautiful names, by the way. I'll let you guys have the floor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so hi, everyone. My name is Allison, and we're really excited to talk to you guys today about Puzzle Swap. So my background, I am currently working in operations at a startup, and I really wanted to get more into like the making side, and that's why I signed up for this boot camp. And so my goal when we're done is to find a role as like a web developer or a product manager.
Hi everyone, my name is Camila Williams and I have a BBA in accounting. I've worked as an accountant for several years, but I always knew that I wanted to make a career change to learn how to code. And I've had some experiences making websites here and there, and also self-taught myself how to use things like WordPress and etc. And I always wanted to know how to do more, and that's what led me to 4Geeks Academy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carmina Adame. I come from a business and IT background. I joined 4Geeks because I always wanted to learn how to code, but never really had the time to do so. So during this pandemic, I took advantage of the time and committed to it. After 4Geeks, I am interested in shifting towards IT while also incorporating my newly acquired web development skills.
Okay, so when we were in the process of building this, we used a few different technologies. So we used languages. So we used Bootstrap, we used React, SQL, Python, HTML, and CSS, as well as JavaScript. And basically the idea kind of like ties back to what our speaker was mentioning, like building something about a problem you know. For me, I'm a person who loves puzzles, and a problem I have is that I buy them, it's like $20 sometimes, and then I don't really want to do them again. And so this idea is basically like to facilitate the exchange of puzzles, whether that's people in South Florida or nationally. So a user would sign up, send us a puzzle, and we'll disinfect it. We'll make sure it has all the pieces, and then we'll send it out to the next person. And you would basically get a new puzzle every month if you pay for a subscription. And so what we were hoping for was to kind of like make it easier for people to be entertained at home on a budget. And kind of, I have this theory that like people are looking for more analog entertainment and like time away from screens, which I guess is ironic that we're in this boot camp. But anyway, I think it's like a desire that's out there, and this could be like a way of using technology to make that happen. And so yeah, here's our contact information, our GitHubs and our LinkedIns. And now I'm gonna switch over to showing you guys the app itself. Camila will take the mic.
Okay, guys, so here's Puzzle Swap. And in order to use the site, you would have to register an account. So once registered, you'd sign in. And for demonstration purposes, we already have one created. So we're going to go ahead and log in.
Not cute, sorry.
Okay, so once the user is logged in, it brings you to the subscription page. And here, as you can see, our subscription is $5.99 a month. So once you hit the subscribe button, it'll take you to PayPal. Then you fill out the information, and once you're finished, it should redirect you to our site. And then once back on the site, it'll take you to the Browse Puzzles page, as you can see here. And Carmina will let you guys know the next steps.
Okay, so once you're on the browsing page, you're able to click on one of the puzzles, or any puzzle that you would like to see more information about. So as you can see, it shows a button that says, please upload your puzzle to start swapping. So the two requirements to start swapping is you have to pay the subscription and you have to upload a puzzle. So here we're gonna go ahead and upload the puzzle. Once uploaded, you'll see it'll redirect you back to the browsing page. And if you go to your profile, you'll be able to see that that's the puzzle that you've uploaded. It'll also show you if you borrowed a puzzle. So let's go ahead and click on the browse puzzles and add one to your cart in order for you to pick one. Here it takes you back, and let's say you like that one puzzle, and you can add it to the cart. Click the button, and I'm going to turn it over to Allison from here.
Awesome. So basically, once you pick one, you read about it, you can submit your order, and you'll get a little confirmation. And then eventually, if we're gonna just like, let's pretend we fast forwarded, and you wanted to find out where your order was, you'd be able to track it here. And so this is the API that we did with USPS. It was kind of complicated, and there was a whole like XML situation, but we did it. And yeah, so that's basically the end of the process. When we think about like what we would like to add next, we want to like fully integrate the PayPal API. That part is like almost there, but not quite. And we also want people to be able to connect it with their social accounts, or even if it's just like having comments, because we want them to be able to leave comments on puzzles and kind of maybe find other people who are interested in this hobby, whether it's just to like chat about it or meet up and when that's safe. So yeah, that is our project. Basically, I guess like everyone else, I want to echo like we had so much help from our teachers and from the mentors, and I found this to be like a very rewarding experience. And yeah, I'm really, really glad to have worked on this with my group and with our class. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys did an awesome job.
Great work.
Congratulations. Very
Thank
awesome
you.
work. Yeah, everyone did superbly. Before we end,
For the last one.
sure, yeah, before we end it, we'll go ahead and open it up to questions.
How much you hated XML?
I mean, okay, I didn't hate it. I liked that it was like text, I guess, but it was just very frustrating. And then at every turn, my lovely mentors were like, "Well, why are you doing this?" And I was like, "This is not my decision. This is the USP Postal Service's decision." So yeah, it was a little frustrating, but we did figure it out, so that was good.
Does anyone else have any more questions?
What was your
Anyone?
favorite part of the development process? I guess this is a question more broadly to each of the groups independently, and after the girls answer, I would like to hear from each of them. But out of your entire process through the coding of your first real serious app, how did you feel, and what really stuck out the most for you?
I guess if I was going first. Oh, sorry, Camila.
No, no.
I was just gonna say the best part, even though the back end was the worst part, the best part was when it actually worked. Like even just now when the puzzle actually uploaded, I was in shock. Like that was amazing. So yeah, that was the biggest thing for me.
So I have a question. How many of you right now, and you can be very open and sincere about this, feel that you can just start tomorrow working on Monday as a developer in a company? Tomorrow, Monday. Tomorrow, no, the day after tomorrow, I guess.
As a full stack or?
In a full-time position. I mean, it could be front end, back end, or both, or whatever. It just
I can do it. I mean, I will ask a lot of questions, but I can try it.
Right. So if you're shy and you don't want to answer because you're gonna say no, don't be shy about it, because actually that's part of the process. And what I wanted to say is that this is graduation day, and that means that you finish the first phase only, not the end of the marathon. It's actually a long run. And normally one of the things that I've been trying the most in the past 6 months, I guess, is to encourage you guys to come to me and continue working towards making you feel better. Because right now maybe you have the skills, maybe you don't realize it. You have never been put into a challenge in a real environment because you've been doing this project and stuff, and it's kind of like real, but you know what I mean, like just not caring about you. When I don't care about you and I'm your boss and I just throw something at you, like you have never been put into something like that, and you don't know how you're gonna react, and you'll be surprised. So if you don't feel confident right now and you think you cannot start on Monday, don't worry, maybe you can start next Monday or the next Monday after you continue practicing. And you'll see that now that you don't have to learn something new, because you do have to learn a lot of things new, but I'm talking about like the general concepts. All you have to do is practice, because you have enough skills to make an app like any of the apps that we've been building. For example, the project that you mentioned, you can actually build something like that. You just need more practice to do it faster. Basically, it's gonna take you a while at the beginning, and then you're gonna do it better. But you'll never feel ready, and all you have to do is start. And the academy is bringing you the opportunity to start Monday, but not in an actual company. Like with me. Like we'll go with you. We'll do the mock interview. We'll give you another project to keep practicing or finishing your actual projects, because you have to polish them for your resume. And we'll start what we call the career week. All of you know about the career week, right? I think Bridget mentioned it here and there. So the career week is the beginning of the rest. And so please let's follow the career week and let's talk and come and talk to me so that we can continue setting up your confidence. Because believe me, a lot of people started working and they actually got a job thinking that they were scamming the company that hired them, because they were thinking I'm not good enough and they're hiring me, so I'm just gonna jump, I need the job. And then they realized later that they were doing okay. I mean, they were contributing and they stayed at the job. That's the best proof that they stayed at the job. So that's it. I mean, that's what I wanted to say.
Just wanted to add on to what Alejandro said. That's known as imposter syndrome. You guys are definitely going to run into it. I've had a lot of people run into it. Don't be nervous. Like, that's exactly what me and Alejandro are here for. If you haven't met with me or sent your resume yet, definitely do so. I've already met with Alex, for example. He and I have already been through the back and forth, so he understands a little bit about the process. But as you guys have seen through the workshops and everything, just make sure that you guys are keeping into contact with us, and actually try and send the resumes and everything. The more you work with us, the higher an outcome of getting a job you'll have. So always keep that in mind. Do I have any more questions from anyone before we end tonight? You guys all did super awesome. You should be very proud of yourselves. Great job. I really can't believe the projects that oh, sorry, Jonathan, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to make a comment after you
Oh,
were
sure.
done.
I was going to say, and if Jonathan wants to say anything, I was literally going to say that if Jonathan wants to say anything to his class, you're more than welcome to.
I'm super proud of all you guys. I think you did great work. You all showed a lot of dedication. You stuck through it. You pushed through the hard times. You kind of, I'll be honest with you, you guys didn't come to me as much with the imposter syndrome question as I thought that, you were going to. It's very typical. It's very common, like Bridget said, and like everyone, you see Newton, me talking about it in the channel. It doesn't go away. Like what happens with imposter syndrome is you learn to deal with it. You learn to manage it. You learn to use it and move past it, and that's what you get better on as you keep going. I'm super, super proud. I can't say it enough times. I think that not just the way that you coded, but the way that you conceptualize the ideas, you try to be aware of the problems that people were facing in today, and you were very conscientious in your app development, and that says something. That goes beyond being a developer, I think, and it goes to, I think, the more human part of our industry. So I look forward to see what you all will be coding, 6 months or a year down the line. I really, really encourage you, as I said before in class, contact me 6 months, a year from now. Let me know how you're doing, what you're up to. I'm really, really curious. I try and follow up with all my previous students, but after 2 or 3 cohorts, it got a little difficult to track everyone. But I would like you to follow up with me, and please just drop in from time to time and say hi. Good job.
And don't wait 6 months to contact me. Please contact me on Monday.
Yeah, same here. I was going to say,
your boss.
Don't wait. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Newton. Again, I'm going to ask if anyone doesn't have any more questions before we end. Questions?
Well, I just have one question.
Oh, sure.
When do we see each other again with this cohort, Bridget? Like for the starting of the career week?
It should start probably the following week, just because I have to wrap up some things for the career week, but I wanted to start possibly Wednesday next week.
Okay.
But regardless, even if it isn't on Wednesday, I still am going to encourage you all to go ahead and book the one-on-one appointments with me. So that way we can go ahead and start reviewing your resumes. And then that following Wednesday is when I plan on actually having the first career week. You guys are going to see a lot of the same things we've already talked about, but it's just going to be a lot more in depth. And I'm actually going to be talking to you guys individually about what you need to fix, what needs to be better, all those kinds of things. So it's really important for you guys to actually show up. And I'll actually send out a schedule as well that I've created for you guys to follow along. And will be blasted out to your emails as well so that you have them. Okay.
So keep reserving the Wednesday, Friday, and Monday of the next week so that we can do those 3 workshops. Okay.
Yes.
Wednesday, Friday, and Monday. We'll start this Wednesday. Wednesday, 6 p.m.
Perfect.
And then Friday 6 p.m. and then Monday 6 p.m. And those are the 3 last
Perfect.
times that we're gonna
Yep.
force you to be sitting altogether.
I think
Yes.
Alex had a question too, Alexon.
Sure.
Yes, sorry. So after the Wednesday, is that, can I set an appointment with Alejandro, for example?
You can do it on Monday. You can do it right now.
I can
the
set an
sooner-
appointment for Monday.
Yeah, you can do it at
Mhm.
any with Alejandro, I know that he likes to meet with you guys. Usually what we do in the process is, because especially since you and I have done some of the resume work and everything, I would suggest you can go ahead and meet with him. But I also suggest everyone to go ahead and book an appointment. He can also really point out where you might need to better yourselves in terms of like coding and stuff. But don't be nervous. That's the whole point, is for you guys to know, so that way you guys are amazing at not only the interviews, but also looking for jobs and the resumes that you have to build as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and end it here, but I just want to thank everyone again. You guys did awesome. I really hope to see you guys really like get out there and start looking for jobs, because there are so many jobs out there right now. It's really crazy how much it's exploded. So yeah, you all, a round of applause again for everyone. Great job again in all of your really awesome projects. And don't forget to sign up and talk to me, okay? It's all on Breathe Code. You guys can see our scheduling on there as well. And yeah, have a great evening, everyone.
You too.
Bye.
Thank
Have
you,
a
you
good
too.
one, and congratulations, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.